rewrite of the real lives of Japanese samurai, beyond the honorable myth, narration only. The samurai, a legendary warrior, an icon of honor, and a symbol of unwavering loyalty. For centuries, the image of the samurai has captivated the world, immortalized in film and folklore as the pinnacle of martial prowess and noble conduct. But what if the gleaming armor and the righteous blade conceal a more complex and often darker reality? What was the true life of a samurai, beyond the honorable myth? To understand the samurai, we must first journey back to feudal Japan, a time of profound social stratification. The samurai were the military nobility, an elite class that constituted less than 10% of the population. They were known as bushi or byuk, and their primary role was to serve a lord, a daimyo, with absolute fidelity. This unwavering loyalty was a cornerstone of their identity, a principle enshrined in the code of Bushido, the way of the warrior. Bushido demanded not only martial excellence, but also a deep appreciation for culture and the arts. A samurai was expected to be as skilled with a calligraphy brush as with a sword, to find enlightenment in the quiet contemplation of a tea ceremony, and compose poetry with the same precision he applied to combat. Zen Buddhism, introduced in the 13th century, profoundly influenced the samurai mindset, offering a path to inner peace and mental fortitude amidst the chaos of war. Yet, the way of the warrior was also a path steeped in death. The concept of honor was so paramount that a samurai would choose death over a life of disgrace. This gave rise to seppuku, a ritualized form of suicide, often committed to avoid capture after a battlefield defeat. A more gruesome form, known as harakiri, involved the samurai slicing his own abdomen before being decapitated by a subordinate. This brutal reality stands in stark contrast to the romanticized image of the noble warrior. The Sengoku period, or the Age of Warring States, which spanned from the mid-15th to the early 17th century, was a time of constant bloody conflict, where loyalty was often tested and betrayal was commonplace. The samurai were not a static warrior class. Their role and influence evolved over centuries. Initially, their focus was on mounted archery, but with the Mongol invasions of the 13th century, the sword, the iconic katana, rose in prominence, believed to be an extension of the warrior's soul. Following the turbulent Sengoku period, Japan was unified, and the samurai transitioned from warriors to administrators during the peaceful Edo period. However, with the Meiji Restoration in the 19th century, the feudal system was abolished, and the samurai class was officially dissolved, bringing an end to their 700-year reign. The age of the samurai may be over, but their legacy endures. The ideals of Bushido, while perhaps not always adhered to in practice, have shaped Japanese culture in profound ways. The samurai of history were not mythical figures, but complex individuals, capable of both great artistic refinement and brutal violence. Their story is a compelling reminder that behind every legend lies a multifaceted and often contradictory truth. From the shadows to the shogunate, the rise and fall of the samurai, narration only, before the age of shoguns and daimyos, before the gleaming katana became a symbol of a nation, there were warriors. In the untamed lands of early Japan, they were provincial fighters, masters of the horse and bow, serving the imperial court in powerful clans. They were the ancestors of the samurai, their origins humble, their future yet unwritten. This is the story of their ascent from the shadows of history to the pinnacle of power, and their eventual, inevitable fall. In the Heian period, from the 8th to the 12th centuries, the emperor reigned supreme, but his power was largely confined to the capital. In the provinces, a new class of warriors emerged to protect the interests of the nobility and suppress rebellions. These were the first to be called samurai, a word derived from sabirao, meaning to serve. Their martial skills made them indispensable, and powerful warrior families began to accumulate wealth and influence, laying the groundwork for a seismic shift in Japanese society. The late 12th century saw Japan torn apart by the Genpei War, a brutal civil conflict between the two most powerful samurai clans, the Taira and the Minamoto. This was a turning point. The war culminated in the victory of the Minamoto clan, and their leader, Minamoto no Yoritomo, established the Kamakura shogunate, the first military government in Japan's history. For the first time, the samurai were the de facto rulers of the nation, with the emperor reduced to a mere figurehead. The age of the warrior had truly begun. The centuries that followed were a golden age for the samurai. They were the undisputed elite, a class defined by honor, discipline, and a strict code of conduct. During the long peace of the Edo period, under the Tokugawa shogunate, the samurai transitioned from battlefield warriors to scholars, bureaucrats, and administrators. They honed the arts of poetry, calligraphy, and the tea ceremony, cultivating a refined and cultured lifestyle. Yet, this long peace also sowed the seeds of their demise. With no wars to fight, their martial purpose began to wane, and a rigid social hierarchy stifled innovation. The arrival of American black ships in the mid-19th century shattered Japan's isolation and exposed the weakness of the shogunate. A period of rapid modernization and social upheaval followed, known as the Meiji Restoration. The feudal system was dismantled, and in a bid to create a modern, centralized state, the privileges of the samurai class were stripped away. Their right to wear swords in public was revoked, and their stipends were converted into government bonds. The samurai, who had ruled Japan for nearly 7 centuries, were no more. Though the samurai as a class have vanished into history, their spirit endures. The ideals of discipline, honor, and self-improvement, central to the samurai code, continue to resonate in modern Japan and beyond. The rise and fall of the samurai is a powerful saga of how a warrior class, born of service, can seize ultimate power only to be rendered obsolete by the relentless march of time. Their story is a testament to the ever-changing nature of power and the enduring legacy of a warrior's code.